What's up guys? That's right, I'm finally making a video, after multiple weeks. Before we start with the video, I first need to talk about a few announcements. First, I have a Discord channel now. If you ever wanted to be part of the Zenda community, or if you want to play games that I've shown off in videos, then make sure to join through the link in the description. Second, I'm going to be in an intense race to 1,000 subscribers against my arch rival, Fruit Toast. Please make sure to subscribe because whoever fails to get to 1,000 first has to create a video saying why you should subscribe to the winner. And he already has 350 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe to help me out. My final announcement, I have a new microphone. Hopefully the audio sounds much better in this and all future recordings. Now, with that all done, let's get on to the video. I collaborated with a fellow YouTuber named Fruit Toast in a game making competition over the course of 3 hours. His channel link will be in the description, so make sure to check him out and see his perspective of the video, because he makes some great content. Alright, now let's get into the game creation. We had a pretty decent start, and after 3 minutes, I got the player designed and started working on the player's movement. Some technical difficulties were happening as my IntelliSense wasn't working. IntelliSense is what autofills the text in Visual Studio, which prevents someone dumb, like me, from misspelling words like rigid body. Eventually, I gave up and decided to work on the code instead of trying to fix the IntelliSense, and just hoped that my year of comp sci knowledge would be enough to stop me from misspelling words. Spoiler alert, it wasn't enough. After failing to make the rotation of the ship work correctly a few times, I got it working 14 minutes into the challenge. I then updated the player some so that I would be able to know which direction the player was facing. And then I started working on the player movement so that it would be moving. And after 22 minutes of working, I gave up and started working on the obstacles and having them scroll to the left. After getting the scrolling to work, we are now officially 41 minutes into the competition, and we're making some pretty decent pace. So next, I started working on an obstacle spawner so that it would be able to loop and be played on a loop. It didn't work at first, but that usually happens. But after half an hour, we got the obstacle spawner working and spawning. And then a few minutes later, we got the obstacle spawning to be random, and then we started working on the player dying when colliding with an obstacle. This, for some reason, ended up causing Unity to crash 4 times, which ended up unfortunately deleting the Unity scene because someone was dumb and forgot to keep saving it. After rebuilding the scene and working on the code some, I got the death working for the player. We are now officially 1 hour and 45 minutes into the challenge, which means we are over halfway there. Next, I started working on movement of the player again, because that's pretty important to having a game. Unfortunately, this wasn't working at all, so I started working on planet designs again. Then, we designed the first obstacle prefab, updated the player, and then we made another obstacle prefab. After this, I started working on the player movement once again. After many failures, and I mean many failures, I finally got the player movement working. This took a long time, unfortunately, which means we only have 20 minutes left to complete this challenge, so I went on Turbo Drive. Some tweaks to the movement were made, and I also created some more planet prefabs. Then all the final planet prefabs were created, and the player model has changed one final time. I then changed the game so that the player moves backwards over time. This makes the game more playable because you don't continuously move forward until you die to the front of the screen. Finally, I made the death work in the game so that the player isn't able to move after dying, and the game was complete. First, we're going to watch our reactions to each other's games, and then we're going to talk about some improvements made after the 3-hour timer. With that out of the way, here are the reactions.
So yeah, 3 hours really isn't that much time to make a game.
Yeah, in Unity, it's pretty tough, but got it kind of going. I just now realized that I don't have a score counter, so I guess I didn't really meet the requirement of the challenge, but
yeah.
I mean, it works out. If you hit it, you lose. Also, game.
Okay, so yeah, this is what I mean by they bloody took it and forced it into Hollow Knight. So yeah, you can change the thing here. So I think the third one's Hollow Knight, and this is it. You can press space to do a double jump occasionally.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm dead. I
That's what
stupidly...
the stars.
Yeah, the source. But I forgot to make it so when you die, you can press a button to go back. So if you want to go back, you have to close and reopen. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
only a
that's
few
what
lines
happened.
of code.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's the standard theme, which is still Hollow Knight background, but the paddle and ball are normal. Mario, which was the first one,
Mario.
yes, question block and the floating platform.
Now, not only did Fruit Toast and I make a game, but a viewer in the chat, Pizzas, recreated my game throughout the stream, and this is his game shown right now. Thank you to Pizzas for coming out and making this incredible game. After completing the game challenge, I was a little disappointed with the game that I created. Because of all the technical difficulties I faced, I felt the game I made wasn't the best that I could produce. So I decided to improve it some. So this is the improved game. I added a point counter, gameplay loop, speed up, and all the other bells and whistles that made this game relatively playable. Thank you guys for watching. I plan on doing weekly streams that will be announced in the Discord for when I'm going to go live. And you guys should check out the Discord for sure because it will help you stay up to date with any Zenduck apps announcements or if you want to play the games that I created, like the one I made this weekend. Also, consider subscribing to the channel because it really means a lot and helps me continue making content for you guys. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.